unlike the Tauren Chieftain, whose AE, the Shockwave does not hit air units. So notice he's trying to make the best use of his Shockwave by trying to get everything he can in it. He's waiting until both, he can try to aim it to where he can get the Pandaren Brewmaster and the Archmage along with all the other ground units all in the same wave. So he's putting a lot of focus now on the Archmage, noticing that the Archmage passed off the boots and the Scroll of Town Portal to the Pandaren Brewmaster. Put a lot of, Kiwikaki put a lot of focus on that Archmage and was able to kill it before the TP went off with the Shockwave. Very, very intense little moment there. Should be noted that this match was not one of the stage matches. This was one that they just played from their computers at the LAN center. So maybe not enough, I mean, still a lot of pressure, but not as much as if maybe you were playing on stage, which Kiwikaki does end up doing for the grand finals when he progresses. So cool move here. As you can see, that was kind of the final fight there. The human player lost a lot of his resources. You can kind of compare food counts right now. They appear even, but you know, as the human player does not have his Archmage out, and he's trying to revive it at the Altar of Kings. The Orc player, knowing that he can kind of say checkmate here now if he can get in and destroy that Altar of Kings. Again, all this harassment and delay, and really good use of Ensnare here. Although it doesn't last as long on heroes, it kind of made that Pandaren Brewmaster stay out a little bit. Knowing that Wyverns now are not part of the case anymore, Shriek opted to go for a dual Sanctum and start making casters, but not giving him enough time to mass up a good caster army. Kiwikaki came in there and attacked and was able to take out all those early casters, those 2 or 3 casters that were out with Ensnare, Focus Fire with level 2 Chain Lightning now and level 2 Shockwave. Really, really nice. Now it's kind of a race to see who can kill off this Altar of Kings. A better choice here probably for Shriek would have maybe to get his some of those peasants to mass repair this Altar of Kings. Might not have done any good because Raiders do siege damage, and Shockwave does damage to buildings, but just putting all his units into militia form are basically just fodder for, again, Shockwave and Chain Lightning, which is very, very effective. See how effective just one Sorceress is there. He was able to pick off Grunts and force kind of a little bit of a retreat, but it's not enough, and the Orc player wins that. Shriek said GG and Kiwikaki won, so cool game. I think it was a pretty interesting game. I think I went over all the points. Just pretty micro-intensive game. I don't really do audio commentaries on pro games very much, but that was pretty entertaining to me, so I wanted to share that with you guys, especially if you haven't seen these replays posted anywhere else yet. The next replay, I want you guys to get it loaded up, and I'll be loading it up with you, so we're going to try to pause at, I guess, the 1 minute mark. This is going to be between Harai Quasi and ZN Long Walk. This was in the blah, 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 blah. Where was this? I think this was the the finals, one of the final matches, because Longwalk was one of the another one of the players that is going to Germany. So this is the top 4. This was just to determine the seeding of the players when they go to Germany. So maybe both players weren't playing very seriously, but definitely entertaining game to say the least. Let's go ahead, and I'm getting it paused here at the 1 minute mark, so give me a second to get there. It's a really short game, as you can see. I mean, we're already like 10% through it, and I haven't even unpaused yet, so 1 minute, it's going to be a really short game, probably like 10-15 minutes, I think, if that. First thing you want to notice, now that we're paused, I'll wait for you guys to get there, and make it 1x speed with Fog of War off. I'm going to be at Bunny's perspective. This was one of the games that Bunny casted, so you should be able to watch this game with the link that I'll provide in the replay with Bunny casting it live at the LAN Center, so that should be pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen that already, I'll send a link so you guys can see that. So the first thing I want you to notice is Longwalk has brought his Ancient of War into Quasi's base. Now, this was the first game, I believe, and that he did this. And I think what Bunny was talking about was that Moon does this, or has done this strategy in Night Elf Mirror and has been very successful with it. So she mentioned that Longwalk was maybe trying to implement this strategy in his own to try to see if he gets successful. And also, you'll notice, if you watch any of the other replays from this this tournament here, this event, that Long Walk gets this used against him in one of the next games or the game before this. It becomes vice versa. Both players use this Ancient of War strategy early on to try to get some moves done on their opponent. So that should give you enough time to get synced up. You're going to unpause now in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. This is Terra in a Stand. This is a small 1v, kind of a smallest 1v1 map, I think. Maybe Echo Isles is too, but definitely just a really quick map, and usually a lot of action going on just because it's such a small map. You'll notice that Long Walk was opting for the Priestess of the Moon, but I don't know if you guys noticed that actually, but he did originally start making the Priestess of the Moon and changed his mind to the Demon Hunter to kind of help aid in this little bit of harassment with his Ancient of War rush that he's doing right here. Notice that we don't have an altar up yet for Quasi, so this generally means one thing and one thing only, that you're going to see an altar hero. You notice that another good Ancient of War use, this is a more common use for the Ancient of War, is to place your Ancient of War just outside the Goblin Laboratory on turn of stand, just outside the creeps range, and use it to help you creep it when you get your hero out. However, he's not going to start creeping it right away. He's going to have to deal with this Ancient of War rush now by Long Walk, so Quasi's taking a little bit slow here. And what hero are we going to see? What hero? I won't spoil it to you until he summons it, which we should see coming up in a second here. He does have his Wisp right next to it. Goblin Alchemist, very cool hero to use, and especially in Night Elf Mirror. You notice he popped a Chemical Rage, which is going to give him increased run speed, and although the Goblin Alchemist doesn't necessarily have a large mana pool, and therefore mana burn should technically be more effective against him, his ability that he's using, his main ability, is Chemical Rage, and that takes very, very little mana for him to use. So in this case, it's kind of a counter to mana burn because it doesn't necessarily hurt him as bad. Not to mention Moonwells and stuff to fill it up. So he's using when he uses Chemical Rage, he uses it very well. He gets the increased run speed, so he uses it to chase down the Demon Hunter. Since the Demon Hunter doesn't have any boots of speed, Quasi is able to run up and catch up and get a lot of extra hits on this Demon Hunter. He's able to get 2 or 3 hits on, especially if he turns around and does a mana burn like that. It's going to be less effective. Now, as soon as Chemical Rage runs out, Quasi knows that he's kind of lost his advantage, and he has to run back before he takes too much damage from the Demon Hunter. He's also bringing his Alchemist back to help deal with this Ancient of War that is still in his base. He's got enough archers now, doing a really good job of that. Now, Long Walk, on the other hand, is opting for the fast tech strategy. He's now halfway through his tech, as Quasi is probably like almost a quarter of the way through his tech. Both heroes just chasing each other around, pretty entertaining, I guess. Just kind of a funny match, some cool strategy to watch. We're 3 minutes into it, and we're a quarter way done. So again, I told you this was going to be a quick one. He only has 30 mana. I don't think that's enough to do anything. Demon Hunter used a Dust of Appearance early on that archer, just so the archer can't hide, and the archers ran into the gold mine camp and suicided, so the Demon Hunter did not get the kill for that. You notice Demon Hunter still doesn't have any experience, as the Goblin Alchemist doesn't have any experience either, but the Demon Hunter was forced to Town Portal after taking some damage from that creep camp all by himself. So he almost died, had to burn the Town Portal. Again, something I talked about earlier in the other game is that if you don't have to waste your Town Portal early on, level 1, I generally don't do it. I don't know why he just dropped his Boots of Speed there, kind of funny. I think in this game both players weren't playing very seriously. They won the Germany trip already. They're going to Germany. They're going to play against the top European and the top Asian players in that tournament. So they were kind of just playing maybe for fun here. So now Long Walk, although going a standard strategy, going Nagasiwa second, which is something very, very common for Night Elf players to do in Mirror and in other matches, it actually is a really, really good counter to the Goblin Alchemist, because that makes his